You ready? We are at round 6 of the Mountain State Hare Scramble. The race today is Pleasant Creek Raceway in Grafton, West Virginia. Trail Seeker Adventure is going to take you out on the track and get you a full first lap. Mountain State Hare Scramble runs bikes on Saturday, and obviously I'm not on a bike, so this is Sunday. It's close to 90. It always seems to be hot at this race, so it's going to be a tough one. I waited a little too late to get up to the line, got a bad gate pick. There was 18 on our row, and I'm clear out here on the end, not looking good for the whole shot. I was here yesterday, got some footage of the bike race. Make sure you check that out on Trail Seeker Adventures YouTube channel. Alright, we'll see you, bud. Now let's jump on the LTR 450 and go out on the track and show you what round 6 of the Mountain State Hare Scramble at Pleasant Creek Raceway was all about. The gate pick really doesn't matter whenever your quad don't start. Now I gotta try to make up as many positions as I possibly can before we get into the woods. I'm racing the 40 AB. Also on the line, there was the 30 AB. I believe there was 11 or 12 in the 40A class, which was my class, and 7 in the 30 AB class. So we had close to 20 on our row, and I'm pretty sure there's not too many behind me at this point. This is the 719 machine of Chris from Sistersville, West Virginia. He's going to actually win the class today. I actually had no idea he was even in my class. That's the one bad thing about having 2 classes on one row. You're really not sure who's in your class. They have stickers on the back that are helmets, but they're kind of small. To be honest with you, I really can't understand how they work. There's my pits. You gotta look fast in front of your pits. Usually I wreck in front of my pits. But with the stickers on the back of the helmets first, the rider has to wear them. And the Mountain State Hare Scramble, they have your row number. I think we're 5. And maybe if I would take the time to try to figure it out. Everyone I seen was red. But I think maybe if it's the opposite class, maybe it's blue. I'm not 100% sure how that works, but really they're kind of small when they go by. You're trying to see what number it is. I can tell whether it's red or blue, but sometimes I can't figure out what number. But anyways, that's me. I need to figure out how this works. I don't run the series for points. I'm just out here for fun, at least this year. But as I was saying, the 719 machine, I didn't realize he was in my class, but we'll see him again. He must get tangled up in a bottleneck that we run across here in a little bit. Let's talk about the conditions a little bit. Yesterday, I was out here, as I was mentioning earlier, watching some of my friends and family out here racing. I did get some video. I did already put that video out, but it was pretty dry conditions as far as weather. This track is usually always wet. It doesn't matter. It always has this hard clay, slick conditions. I learned my lesson out here several times. I made bad tire choices on the bike, but once I left here yesterday, a friend of mine, Bob, and Mike Cheney, his boys, we went out to Big Bear Lake to go do some mountain biking. Got stuck in a big storm, huddled underneath a rock for a while, close to an hour probably. And yeah, they got it here as well. So it's not only hard clay, but now it's wet hard clay, so it's pretty slick. I, of course, once again, do not have the best tires. The quad I've only ran a few times, and mostly running the quad this year because, well, not only I enjoy racing the quad. Actually, I had a blast out here on this day, but I haven't been running it consistent enough to put good tires on it. The back tires are just about nothing. Just trying to be careful, playing it smart out here on the first lap. Make sure I don't slide off the track. One thing I did learn just a few years when I started racing this quad is you don't move this thing like a dirt bike. You come up on a bottleneck, you don't try to go out through the woods somewhere you're not sure what's out in the weeds or whatever. When you come up to a bottleneck, unless you for sure see a better route, you just sit there and you wait until it's your turn to go through, such as this. I look around, but I'm 100% sure there's nowhere to go. So instead of messing up, I'm just going to sit. I think there's a few that was on my row behind me, but for the most part, at this point in time, I'm pretty sure I'm near last. You have a tendency of wanting to try to get to the front as fast as possible. Quad is really not that easy. As you can see, it is pretty much single track. I'm not going to yell and holler at the person in front of me, especially when I'm not sure if they're in my class. If they're in my class, I'm going to have to earn it. They're moving at a pretty good pace. I have just recently put some, they're not new, they're used. Big thanks to Elkins Motorsports. They hooked me up with some Fox floats for the front and a Fox shock for the rear. Tiffany's boyfriend, Jared Little, he has a track out by Bob's Auto. Actually, I think it's Bob's property. I'm not 100% sure. See there, it looks like I got around somebody. But I did get to go out there and make a few laps. It felt pretty good. But other than that, I'm out here just filling it out. Especially for the first lap, but it's really feeling pretty good. I had a stock rear shock, and the last race I did have some Fox floats Gen 2. These are Gen 3. So I get here, a little bottleneck. I see some four-wheelers. Looks like I passed maybe 3 right there. So we're making some passes, trying to make some good decisions. But yeah, the old quad, she's old. She's, as long as I do the mechanical work correctly, don't leave bolts loose or something. It's been doing pretty good here recently. But she's feeling a lot better. The only place I really suffered out here today was on the whoops. There was a whoopy uphill. I'll show you that here in a little bit. It felt like it was 6 miles long, but it's probably maybe 100 feet. There's a whoopee field, and there was another whoopee section. Oh, I think I'm gonna make another pass here. So that was what, 4? Another one down. 4 passes so far, and I think I saw somebody broke down, so maybe 5. But at this point, I'm really not feeling the best as far as what position I'm in. I don't really feel I'm doing that great. The one thing I do wish on this LTR 450 2006 model, I think, I wish I could turn the idle up. If anybody knows how to turn the idle up on these things, it idles so low. I stalled it probably 20 times out here. Luckily, all but maybe 4 or 5 I was able to drift start or bump start it. So it really didn't affect a lot. But I just wish I could turn the idle up on this thing. There he was trying to point me in a better direction. I didn't see it. I was sliding in the wrong direction, so I had to come down, avoid the big mud hole at the bottom of the hill there. Now yesterday I didn't get out on the track a lot as far as for the adult bikes. I got the start and I got the uphill. Now that was interesting. I think I was safer if I would have got geared up and jumped on my dirt bike and came out and raced the 2-hour event. I had dirt bikes chasing me left and right as I was up on the hill, but here's the bottom of the hill climb. Looks like there must be a cluster up there. So they sent me around. Dirt bike, I pretty much always go up over the hill. Last year it was drier with the 4-wheeler. I did go up over the hill every time. It was no problem. But today it's a little slimy. I got crappy tires, and right here's where you come out after you come back down from the uphill. So I don't think I lost any positions. Might have gained a few positions. I do go up over the hill climb on the second lap. I see there's another guy down there setting. I'm going to go ahead and tell you how I finished. Well actually I come around here, I finished this lap thinking I was not doing all that great. And to be honest with you, I was surprised when I seen that I was second. So I came around the first lap second. I think around 40 seconds behind first, which we'll see Chris pass me here in a little bit. So actually at this point in time I'm probably winning, which is kind of crazy to think about. But at the end of the race, at one point Chris had over a 2-minute lead on me. I come around with 1 lap to go and I was down to a minute. I'm thinking, he might be getting tired, so another 4's pointing the wrong direction. So on the last lap, even though it's hot, I'm tired, I tried to throw out a pretty decent lap. I caught him, but I didn't realize it was even him. We only had maybe a half a mile to go. There was somebody stuck in the middle of the track. He was going around the guy, and I followed him around the guy that was stuck. And I thought, man, that 4-wheeler looks familiar. I just thought maybe, I've seen it before or recognized who maybe it was or something, but I had no idea that it was even in my class. Completely forgot about chasing down whoever was in first place. Unfortunately for me, somebody got stuck or got between me and him. A lot of 4-wheelers already broke down on their first lap. But that's part of racing 4-wheelers. Jared, the Jared Devil, he actually broke down also as I think he said he was running maybe 4th, 5th overall and first in the A class. But that's part of racing 4-wheelers. But anyways, I caught him, didn't realize I even caught him, and came in across the finish. 16th overall, second in my class, 17 seconds back behind this dude right there. There goes Chris. He's looking pretty good. I keep up with him for a little bit, but even at this point in time I had no idea this guy was even in my class, so it was not a panic of any type. Last year this was a whoopee uphill, and now it's a whoopee downhill. It's not as bad as it was last year. but I would say Chris must have got a little tired, or the heat might have got to him, or he just wasn't concerned. But it seemed like as soon as he saw me, he must have recognized me, because it was like no time at all, he was gone. So I probably couldn't have got around him anyways. The last half mile, there really wasn't a lot of places to pass other than maybe the field section right before the finish. Had an awesome time out here. I'm glad I didn't race the bike yesterday. I'm not going to race the bike anymore until I get my knee fixed. I got to get my ACL replaced. That's why the quad's out. Heidi and I have one more trip, a little vacation, going to Ohio Powell. If you've never been to Ohio Powell, Pennsylvania, we have a couple videos on that, as Trail Seeker Adventures always takes the GoPro and gets the footage so you can maybe find a trail or somewhere to go check out without even getting off the couch. But yeah, we did a blog last year. We kayaked, mountain biked, hiked. Heidi and I did the lower Yock on a 2-person raft. Awesome time. We're going to do that again this year. Then we're also going to go to Rock Run. We're going to get some footage of Rock Run. It's a bike park up above Ohio Powell. Bring some of that footage back to you so you can see what the trails up here are like. If this is the first video you've watched of Trail Seeker Adventures, we bring the camera out onto the track, out onto the trail, no matter whether we're hiking, mountain biking, racing, at a ride park, snowboarding, you name it, we've been out. We got a video of it. Make sure you check us out, like and subscribe. This section here was a little slower off camber, and that is one thing I definitely need to pick my speed up on, the off cambers. One of the biggest difference that I've found racing a quad versus a bike is the quad really works your shoulders. Whenever you're on an off camber, especially in a turn, your shoulders really is the only thing other than your feet that's holding you from falling off of the four-wheeler. So I'm a little lazy. I sit down, I go slower. I just need to ride this thing a little more and get in a little better shape. Now this section over here, this is where the rocks were. This is where the suspension, the new suspension, is doing awesome. When I come to a rock section, it used to bounce the bars about out of my hands, but now I float right across them. Catching somebody else. I think this guy's in my class. I don't remember a Kawasaki on a row. I'll pull tear off here for you. I believe he slides out down here somewhere. Actually, last year I raced this race with the quad because we was at Ohio Powell and I didn't get back in time to race the bike on Saturday. So I got up. Oh no, they didn't do 2 days last year. It was all on Sunday. The phone keeps dinging. Anyways, here's a rock section. Came across there like there wasn't even no rocks there. But last year, both bikes and quads was on Sunday. So we got back. I didn't have time to get here in time to race the bike, so I brought the quad, and it felt like crap. The stock suspension, it was hot also. I got a video on that in case you need to see it, or if you haven't already seen it. I think I kept stalling it. I don't know, I didn't finish very well. A lot better today. I've done a little bit of work on the quad since then. Some new tires will be the next purchase. Fun little uphill. Now we got up here and the road had some water laying in it. And on the first lap, my gloves got pretty wet and slimy, so I was considering stopping and getting new gloves. I usually don't stop unless things are really in a bad way. But by the time I got to the pits, they dried off, and I really didn't have any problems the rest of the day. I think everybody splashed the water out of the mud holes, and that wasn't an issue. Had an awesome time this weekend. Came out and hung out with family and friends yesterday for the bikes. Went mountain biking with my friend Bob and Mike and his kids, even though that didn't turn out very well. Want to have some footage on that also, but unfortunately I brought my old camera. But I'm going to try to at least get some footage out there so you can see what Big Bear Lake has to offer as far as at least the track trail. Today I got to hang out with Tiff, my daughter, my grandkids, her boyfriend Jared Little, and his family and friends. Had an absolutely awesome weekend. Unfortunately, Heidi is on a business trip in Nashville, so she wasn't able to come. This side of the mountain seemed to be a little slimier than the other side of the mountain. I don't know if the dirt's has a little more topsoil, but there's two spots right there. Actually, I think that was the worst one. There's no, maybe this one. You didn't want to come in there too hot, because if you slid down over there, you was going to be a while trying to get that back up to the track. So I was super slow through there every time. The good thing is this track's been ran a few times, which on this track is a good thing, because there is a rut there for you to be able to grab on so you don't slide down against the trees. Another little rock section. Now this is the whooped up uphill that I was saying. It felt like it was 6 miles. I know what I need to do is probably stand up, but that is where this four-wheeler is the worst. Whoops. I don't know if I need to do something with the rear. Maybe slow down, speed up the rebound. Who knows? I'm not a quad guy. Down here we have a pretty fast little section. I think it's like a logging road. little hesitant on it because I'm still not 100% sure what this thing is going to do. Going, you know, at this speed, if I hit a water break or something, come out and all of a sudden, good thanks, coming in a little hot. Thanks to some spectators there pointing us in the right direction. Off camber with a tree option. That was a little confusing. I think that must have been where the youth went up the hill. I don't know, first 2-3 times I wanted to go up the hill, but obviously that's not where it went. I believe right here is where I caught, yeah, that was where I caught Chris on the last lap. He was going around somebody that was stuck or broke down. And then he got around a guy right here. This hill, as you can tell, it is slick. And with my ball-headed tires, I felt like I was in 5th gear wide open, just spinning all the way up that hill. But from here in is like, I had no idea that he was even in our class. But as you can see, it's pretty much one line. Not a lot of options for passing. He probably was just resting until he saw me anyways. It's pretty fast. But this first lap, as I said, I did a lot of passing and didn't even realize it. Coming through the last section of the woods, we had some roots out here which slid right into a tree. You had to be careful right here. Looks like a lot of people hit the tree. And then through the field right here, quad did not feel very good through there. I'm sure Chris probably would have been faster than me through here anyways, because I felt super slow. Came in, slowed down long enough to see, yep, second. At that point in time, I really didn't recognize or pay attention on how far back I was. I was actually just about fell over in shock. There's my pits. Tiff and the crew. About fell over in shock that I was even second, so I was like, alright, gotta hammer down. The rest of this video is just going to be if I've seen somebody along the track, whether you're standing, spectating, or sitting, waiting till somebody come pull you out. Really don't think I passed anybody. I think one person passed me, and then I passed him right back because I think he broke. I do go up over the hill climb on this lap. I believe that's the only time I went up over the hill climb. The next time I came to the hill climb, somebody else went up the hill climb, so I thought, you know what, if he gets stuck, I'm going to be stuck behind him. So I just went around, and really where he came down on the track, I could see him come down, so he gained about 4 or 5 seconds on me. So the rest of the day, I didn't take a chance with my ball-headed tires. I just went around. maybe that might have been a mistake. Seeing how I only lost 17 seconds, but I guarantee you if Chris saw me, he has the speed to pick it up and get rolling. In my class, Chris was first, I was second, Mick was third, Chad, Judy was fourth, Ronnie was fifth, Jason was sixth, Bobby was seventh, John Leeson, should have known that, was eighth, Edward was ninth, Tim was 10th, and Tim Polis was 11th. So there's 12 in my class. Finished 16th overall. Pretty happy with that. Watching this video, I see where I need to go a little faster. I need to come out of the turns a little harder. It was a little slimy, so I was pretty cautious, just like not pinning it coming out of the turns. I was a little nervous on the last lap. I was surprised that I didn't get lapped. And I was a little concerned about running out of gas. I've never had a stop with this thing with the big tank. We had Adam McGill here. He got a pretty good start out there before we took off, so I thought for sure I would get lapped, but I didn't. There wasn't too many people behind me that didn't get lapped. I had just a little less than a gallon, probably maybe about a half a gallon, so I definitely would not have made another lap. Here's the hill climb. Come up. I guess they were going to the left from what I hear. Something kicked me kind of goofy over here, putting me in the rocks and roots. Barely made it. Come down, get back on the track. It's definitely shorter. The other way you can really rip around. I believe this is the young man that passes me later. I'm not sure. It looked like he was broke down. The course marshals were there helping him. But then here he comes. Passes me back. No, just past me. Maybe it wasn't even the same guy. But then coming down this whoopee downhill, he pulls over. Like as if he's broke or something. Yep, just stalled it there, but got pretty lucky most of the day. Here's that rock section again. Every time I came across there, I was just amazed how well it felt. Where you don't want to screw up. definitely did more passing of broking four-wheelers than I did moving four-wheelers. That's really different than on a bike. You do a lot of passing with a bike, and you very rarely see a bike sitting along the track. Fast little road section again. Picked it up a little bit since I knew there's no braking bumps or water brakes. I love this turn for some odd reason. Come sliding in there. Well, that's the second lap. Came in second. Again, I do believe I actually looked at the amount of time behind. I think that's probably why I stalled. This is the one time that I did stall. I had to use my starter. The guy behind me was getting a little impatient and was pushing, which I appreciated. My pits, got to look good in front of the pits. But thanks so much for watching. This is round 6 of the Mountain State Hare Scramble. Hope you was able to see what the track condition was all about. I had an absolutely blast out here sliding around with the old quad. Not sure where I came up with my fat Albert. Every time I seen somebody, I'd go, hey, hey. But I had a blast out here. Thanks everybody that was rooting me on. Make sure you like and subscribe. You can do that by pushing the logo in the middle of the page. Thanks for watching.